let's. I mean, I've already talked about this on News Why It Matters, but I want to go ahead and do it again here. The blue checks, media pundits, public health experts, presidents around the world, governors, whatever you want to call them, prime ministers, they have a lot to gain from COVIDs. Everybody's on a power trip now. Everybody has, on the excuse of emergency use, has gotten away with some of the most insane human rights violations that we'll probably ever see in our lives, particularly pertaining to private property rights, which all human rights extend from. You get what it is I'm saying. But the new variant, which we talked about the other day, and the Omicron shit, or as the president, Mr. Biden, says, the Omnicron. But that, you saw, and if you on Twitter, you're on social media, you probably saw some sort of headline. It was like fearing, oh my God. And of course, the pharmaceutical companies were like, oh, just give us some time. We'll have a vaccine for that. Don't worry about it, of course. More money for them. It's in their best interest. So everybody has so much to gain. And unfortunately, there's a lot of stupid people that are just incapable. Just incapable of assessing this shit for what it is. And we have another story from another congressman that we're going to cover. And they just don't understand. Well, they don't want to understand, let's say that. Why folks have been able to sniff this out and are calling this shit for what it is. But you noticed, and I brought this point up on the News and Why It Matters yesterday. Notice how when this thing first was a thing, notice how the Omicron was announced. You rarely saw headlines that would lead with what this meant, right? Is this variant more or less dangerous? Generally, when these things mutate, they don't get more dangerous. But what does that mean? They didn't really lead with that. It was, oh my God, new variant, and they just ran with it, assuming as if it was more dangerous. We're gonna watch this video real quick from a doctor out of South Africa, which is where this originates, and what she had to say. And I'm going to chime in a little bit, but let's listen real quick.
Looking at the mildness of the symptoms that we are seeing, currently there's no reason for panicking as we don't see severely ill patients.
All right, so just for people that don't understand what she said, is that the symptoms, we're talking about something that is mild, and we're not seeing any severe like reactions or anything. And we're not seeing severely ill patients based on this new variant.
I also checked with the hospital, some of the hospitals in my area. And one of the biggest hospitals, they only have one patient currently that's COVID positive on a ventilator, and they don't even know whether it's COVID, it's Delta, or whether it is Omicron related. We acknowledge that it might change going forward. But the hype that's been created currently out there in the media and worldwide doesn't correlate with the clinical picture. And it doesn't warrant to just cut us off from any traveling and ban South Africa as if we are the villains in the whole process. It should not be like that.
So what she's saying is, and that last part was particularly important, she made the claim that considering how this is mild, considering that even the one patient that is on a ventilator, nobody even knows if it's Delta or this Omicron stuff, the media hysterics and how people are pumping this up worldwide does not correlate with like the clinical picture. Now, I would make the argument that it's always been like that. It's been like that from the get-go regarding this COVID, in that, yeah, it doesn't match with the picture. Like the reaction that we have or that these people are having regarding what their policies are does not match up with how actual lethal it is, or lack thereof. But now they're referring to this, and she was referring to specifically, you see these travel bans coming from South Africa and all of that. And she's like, this is just nonsense, considering that this is not even deadly. Or rather, it doesn't match. You're doing all of this stuff and it doesn't even match. Now, again, I think it's important. Now, this is a doctor, again, and I ain't the one that said it. She said it. But on a serious note, think about that and then apply it to COVIDs at large, okay? And look at the, let's say, IFR, the infected fatality rate. Look at age. Look at health demographics. And then try to match that up with like the reactions around the world. Like definitely in these uber authoritarian areas where you got these like vaccine passports and all of that type of stuff, where they're acting as if this is like, okay, you catch it, you're going to die, right? It doesn't match up. But this is why folks like myself have been trying to get you to realize that this ain't about, oh, whether or not this COVID's real or fake or any of that. That's not what the conversation is. The conversation is simply this. There's data that's available that even you have provided. That data does not match up with your reaction or your actions. The aggression that you're using upon people, which is never justified anyway. Don't get me wrong. But you're treating this as if this is a fucking apocalyptic virus. And it's not. We're doing something upon which we have not ever done with even more lethal viruses. Stuff that we didn't do with Ebola. Stuff that we didn't do with like swine flu. And then you consider for younger people, stuff we don't do for flus. And that's more deadly for that younger age group. Yeah, we're doing it for COVID. Why? Now, I think, and this is my assessment, it's just, it started off as, okay, people were freaking out. But then more folks saw how, okay, what do we have to get? Pharmaceutical companies making billions upon billions of dollars because they're getting paid by governments around the world using your taxpayer dollars or tax stolen dollars to fund them. And of course, the CEO goes on TV all the time. He's talking about, yeah, maybe we can return to normal. I don't know, but it'll take a booster. Oh, it just so happens that in order for us to return to normal, your pockets have to get lined up. I don't think that's a conflict of interest at all. Right? Funny how that works. But the reaction doesn't match up. And you're not an insane person just because you bring it up. They'll try to make you out to be crazy. Right? Saying shit that isn't even true. Talking as if vaccinated people can't spread the virus. When hell, even with this, I believe the first 4 cases that they found of this Omicron shit, they were vaccinated. Government of Botswana mentioned that. It'll end when you're ready. You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.